what else can be done with it instead of me using my hands straight away. So then you start thinking. So if you pick out of any of these 5 R's and a U, whichever you do, it means that your waste is going up again. You are reusing it, so it's going back. So it is not wasted. So it is a zero economy. And that is what we run at the Waste Museum. Now, it is a perfect ecosystem for plants, animals, and humans. Because if you look at the definition of environment, environment is a place where plants, animals, and human beings live together in harmony. So what we want to create for you, what we want people to see is that perfect ecosystem where animals, plants, and humans are living together in harmony and they are not creating any waste. So the waste from the plant will be used by the animal, the waste from the animal will be used by the plant, and the waste from the plant and the animal will be used by the human. My vision is for it to be turned into a tourist center in a community like minimum of 20 acres, where we will even have residents, we'll have universities, we'll have hotels, we'll have rooms, we'll have halls, and people can come in and experiment and explore and be innovative around the waste that human beings generate. And not only human beings, even animals generate their own waste. Plants also generate their own waste. So where we are going to is a center, very big, like a community, where you can see the actual perfect ecosystem and there's not going to be waste. So everything everybody is using is going back to the system. So the buildings where we are going to is also going to incorporate the circular economy, because the buildings are going to be eco buildings, and we are going to make use of both our black water from the toilet, our grey water from the bedroom, and our normal rainwater, which is the regular water. So when you get to where we are going to, you will see all this. We don't want to talk. We want to show. We have different programs that we do in primary school, in private schools, and we also have interns that come in, and we also have people that come in here for excursions, and depending on what they pick, they can pick just for the tour, or they can pick a workshop. If it is a workshop, it means that they're going to sit down and actually practice. They will take a particular waste. Sometimes we ask them to come with waste as part of their payment to come into the Waste Museum. So they create, they turn that waste, we teach them, we show them, we empower them with the skill, because we are also a school, we train. So we empower them with the skill that is needed to convert that particular waste into wealth, into works of art that they can take back. So sometimes when they do that, then they donate to the Waste Museum. So some of the arts you see here are some that I made by myself, some of the ones that our students make from school. And then we also have a competition. We started a competition 2 years ago. We call it Creative Eco Summer, Creative Eco and Day competition. It is in secondary schools and primary school, in public and private school, and they are supposed to explore waste, any form of waste, in 3 categories. So we have fashion, we have art, and we have science. So each of the students will go into their own community, pick up any waste of their likeness, and then turn it into either a work of art, or in science, or in fashion. And so they come in and showcase their work. We had the first edition that came in 2019, and then 2020 we couldn't do it because of COVID. And so 2021 we are not going to do this, and then we'll start again, after everything has normalized, by the grace of God, in 2022. So some of the works that they do, they donate to the Waste Museum. But everything you see here, most of the artwork you see here are all from waste, apart from the structure, apart from the creator. There's a difference between recycling and upcycling. So recycling involves converting that waste into another product, and it requires the process of machine. So, example, if I want to recycle this plastic bottle, maybe into a nylon, or I want to recycle it into a t-shirt, I will use big machine that will break this down, convert it into flakes, turn it into pellets, melt it, turn it into string, and then convert it into whatever they want to use it for in the final product. That is recycling. So recycling is more capital intensive and it requires a lot of manpower, skills, and all that. But upcycling, which is more of what I do, means everybody can do it. Upcycling means you take that particular waste, just add some little touches to it, and turn it into a work of art. So when you're done, you can still identify that waste and say, this not, okay, example, check out my jewelry. This is a jewelry, but it is made from bottle covers. So this is upcycling. Anybody can do it. Any young person can do it. Once you have the brain, you have the skill, and you have the hands, and you have the waist. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need 10 million naira to set up the company. Less than 50,000, you can start upcycling. And so that's what we focus on, because we know that that is what we want as many people as possible to join us. And so we don't want people to be looking for a lot of money to start the business. We want people to come, learn, and with a little, even with ordinary scissors, you can start upcycling. I didn't do this in school. It actually started in my kitchen. Over 12 years ago now, I gave birth to twins and I was home on maternity leave. And for the first time, I noticed the amount of waste I was generating in my flat. My twins were taking 1 can of naan every day. So it means that every 7 days, my store is filled with 7 cans. And we just finished taking food from these things. They are still solid. Why do I have to throw them away? I started asking this question. Why do I have to throw the waste away? And that question led me to becoming an artist, because I kept asking questions. And then I realized that the fastest and easiest way I could convert each of these waste to is to turn them into a work of art. And you know, art is very versatile. Art is very, very wild.
It's a creative something.
You can keep working on a particular product, and as soon as you work on it in one step, somebody likes it already. And then somebody else will say, oh, I can add this to it. And so it started evolving. So what I did initially was to gather all the materials together, start experimenting, because all this is a new field. Ecopreneurship, as far as I'm concerned, is new, because we don't have any manual. We are the one coming up with the manuals every day, working trial and error. We will fail today, we'll bounce up, we'll learn from the mistakes of the failure, and then we'll, work it again tomorrow. So it's a new field. And we have some artists already that are trained, that are beginning to come into waste now. They were artists before. They went to school to go and learn how to do artwork. But now that we started talking about waste, they are also getting interested. So I have a couple of them that are also my friends now, that because they met me, they started infusing waste into their own art materials also. So the more people that can incorporate waste into whatever they do, then the less waste that will end up in the ocean or in the landfill. Everybody needs to take conscious effort of what they do with their waste. Because everybody is generating waste. And let me now shock you. Waste that we're talking about is actually man-made. Nature harbors waste. In nature, there is no waste. Because if you look at the cycle, everything that nature produces ends back in nature. But when we're talking about waste of plastic, waste of cans, waste of that, human beings created this thing. And so if we created it, we must solve it. And if you are a human being, whether the only time you don't, even when you are sleeping, you are generating waste. Because at least when you sleep, you will sweat. So it means that for every day you are living, you are actually generating waste. And it is high time you started taking cognizance of the waste you make and try to introduce the 5 hours to it, it means that you will start with reducing first as a human being. Normally you generate 10 kilograms of waste in a week. You must look at how you can reduce it to 5 kilograms, to 3 kilograms. After reducing, the ones you now reduce it to, you now ask yourself again, what else can I do in this way? So you can pick reduce, you can pick reuse, you can pick recycle, you can pick upcycle, and that is what we are here to do. For as many people that can join us, what we want to achieve is that once you come to our hub, you take it back to your own space, because we don't have to come to your own space. So you come here, you learn from us, take it back. Then you, from there, spread it to your own community. So that way, we don't have to be the one doing everything. So you come, you learn, you take it back. You take it back to your community. People in your community take it back to their own community, and then it keeps spreading, and then it becomes, like tentacles that can reach the world. So, as human beings, you must be aware that you are generating waste, and if you don't manage that waste very well, it's going to end up in the environment, and if it ends up in the environment, it will affect the coming generation, and that means you are not living a sustainable life. A sustainable life is about living today without hindering the future generation from enjoying the same benefits that you enjoy. Let me give you another example. If you get a parcel of land now, the first thing you want to do is you want to cut down all the trees on it. Those trees that you just cut down, somebody, your forefather, your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather planted those trees 30, 40, 50 years ago, and that is why you can say, oh, this is a tree. And then you cut it down, and then you don't plant another 10. Not even 10, not even, at least 10. For every tree you cut down, you must plant 20. Because it's not all the 20 you planted that will survive. And so if you want to make sure that your children are alive, grow up in the future, your great-grandchildren see what is called a tree, then you must plant 20 down. Because if you cut one down and you don't plant any, and I cut one down and I don't plant any, I want to predict that by 2050, our children will be looking at trees in books, because we will have finished cutting down all the trees. So we all need to get up now and get involved.